In the morning when I'm driving, I really come alive when I listen to my Ronnie, I listen to my Ronnie Q. They are rare and they are few who can compare with Ronnie Q. So grab a chair, she's coming through. She's on the air, it's time for Ronnie Q. They are rare and they are few who can compare with Ronnie Q. So grab a chair, she's coming through. She's on the air, it's time for Ronnie Q. Ronnie Q. It's time for Ronnie Q. Ronnie Q. It's time for Ronnie. In the morning while I'm driving, Ronnie, I really
Grand Rising, Grand Rising. I hope you guys are doing well this morning. Thank you for joining me. Hit the like button, share, subscribe. Well, if you're talking, you're subscribing. Um, Rest in peace, D'Angelo. I got off my live yesterday, and that was the first thing that yes, he had pancreatic cancer, foot soldier. I didn't know anything about that. Hey, Miss Douglas, good morning to you. Yes, so when I got off my live yesterday, I found out that he had passed away, and I was just like, you have got to be kidding me. Yeah, really, really good artist, really good music, um, really good memories too. Um, those songs, that voice, his performances. Yeah, yeah, he passed away. Now, so it's unfortunate that Angie Stone and I think she passed away this year. Yeah, this year. Uh, they have. I do, but I think they have one or two sons together. So it's unfortunate that their children lost both their parents this year. So, big ups to D'Angelo. So that's all I have. I just was stunned and saddened. Um, Now, I also was talking about some things yesterday. You know, maybe some of us remember some of these things since you know, this is, I'm glad that I learned some things in school. I'm going to share this with you guys and see if you guys remember this because they're having a No King's Day protest this Saturday. And I don't know where I saw this. I don't know if I don't know if I came upon it or someone sent it to me. I think I saw it in my Instagram and I was like, oh my God, who would have thought? Now, I think this came out 50 years ago on October 20th. And here we are 50 years later having to have a No King's Day parade on October 18th. So see if not. I remember that dumb, what dumb C, Miss Douglas? I I used to love me some Schoolhouse Rock. It's unfortunate that more people don't know. That's where you learned a lot of things on Schoolhouse Rock, and I think that 50 years later, it is very sad that we have gone through all of this after building this nation. And we're back to the same place we were before. No taxation without representation. And they refuse to seat the a congresswoman from Arizona who won the election because they are scared about this vote on the Epstein files. I mean, uh, with this administration not ruling via executive order and not using the Congress to do any of the things, take any of the jobs, all of this stuff that has been done by this administration bypassing Congress is really disgusting. And there is a reason a lot of people, I've been watching comments that some people make. Unfortunately, We do have a constitution. We do have a constitution, but unfortunately, it's being ignored. And just because it's being ignored does not mean that this nation was built on the Constitution. So this is one of my favorite ones. I liked "I'm Just a Bill" as well. Thank you, Bush baby. I definitely liked "I'm Just a Bill." So when saying that one, it just really, really made me think, and it really made me go back. That unfortunately, after I remember when we were young, we used to get up early and we used to watch cartoons, and Schoolhouse Rock would always be on there, uh, teaching us our multiplications, our nouns, conjunctions, interjections, all of these things that we were taught via song, and then. Uh, as I got older, like a teenager, and wasn't watching too much TV, I noticed that there was all of these paid advertisement, car salesmen, and all of this. They would buy up a block of time in the morning, and it was just for-profit sales. People selling this 2 or 3 hour blocks, and that's very unfortunate. That should have told us that uh, people in control value making a dollar over educating our children. And here we are with a president who has dismantled the Department of Education. Uh, During this shutdown, he has totally obliterated special education for children. At the same time, many states are relaxing child labor laws. So, this is quite scary. Uh, I know we're not written into the Constitution, but we are living. Well, we're supposed to be living under the Constitution right now. Uh, Even though we weren't written into the Constitution is supposed to be the guiding principle of America. But unfortunately, we see that it isn't. I understand exactly what you're saying, Miss Douglas, but I just really hate to see that nobody takes this government seriously, and it seems like I'm really serious. At what point do you keep laying off people, cutting health care, and think that this this country is not trying to really enslave people again, have people with no way out, and I have to say it. It seems like they're trying to bring slavery back, indentured servants type of stuff. No, I didn't see it. I didn't see it. I was That's why I played all of that at the beginning of my live, because I knew more than likely that I would have to uh take it out of the video. So thank you for letting me know that, Bush baby. Hey, detach myself. Now, where did we leave off? Where did we leave off? So so now I'm pretty sure all of you have heard about that story in Politico, where all of these young Republicans were uh, just saying some vile, disgusting, racist stuff. Have you guys heard? You had to have heard about this in Politico. Let me find the article. If I can't find it, I do have the article. Let me play a video. Let me play a video about all of these young Republicans saying the most disgusting racial stuff. And you can't even be surprised that J.D. Vance, uh, acted as if people on the left had said so much worse because one candidate said something worse. So, and totally is trying to ignore this. So let's let's watch a couple of videos. I'm gonna link you to the article as well. One second. I will link you to the article as well. It's quite disgusting. Let me find it real quick. Here's the article right here. Let me share this with you. This is the name of the article. You can see it right here. I don't want to get struck for saying the word uh, Hitler with the H. Leaked messages expose young Republicans' racist chat. These are some of the things that they were saying. Uh, they were trying to, they were voting within themselves and they were trying to persuade people to vote for this one or that one or the other one. And you see, I'm ready to watch people burn now. We are officially under a consideration for a Trump endorsement. So their little chat message stream got leaked, and this is some of the things that they were saying. Uh, if we ever had a leak of this chat, we would be cooked for real, for real. Stay in the closet, agate. Uh, Now they love the watermelon people. He also hates the Jews. It was the R word. Now these people are we can get into this article. These people are actually saying that SAing is a good thing. New York leaders of the young Republican groups throughout the country worried what would happen if their Telegram chat ever got leaked, but they kept typing anyway. So you see them worrying, oh, if this get out, what would happen? They referred to black people as monkeys, the watermelon people, and mused about putting their political opponents in gas chambers. Now, isn't that anti-Semitic? Isn't that this anti-Semitism that this administration say that they are trying to fight? Isn't that what they want you to believe, that this nation has gotten so anti-Semitic? But they are hush on this. These are people who are actually, one of them is actually a sitting uh, a state congressman. He doesn't go to the he doesn't work in DC. He works at the state level as a state congressman. Imagine this. Okay. They talked about raping their enemies and driving them to suicide, lauded Republicans who they believe to support slavery. Now, and lauded Republicans who they believe who support slavery. They use a code word in the uh, Christian nationalists as base. That means that you support slavery and everything about slavery. This just happened yesterday. This just dropped yesterday. This is the future leaders of the Republican parties. They feel that comfortable. William Hendricks, a Kansas young Republican vice chair, used the word nigga and variations of a racial slur more than a dozen times in the chat. Bobby Walker, the vice chair of the New York State Young Republicans at the time, referred to grape as epic. Epic. Do you understand me? Peter Guton, uh, who at the time was chair of the same organization, wrote in the message sent in June that everyone that votes no is going to the gas chamber. He meant everyone who voted no for him is going to the gas chamber. Now, is this not playing with anti Semitism? Isn't this the party who said that they are doing all of these things in these colleges that uh, protest for the Palestinians and protest against what was being done to the Palestinian for losing billions of research dollars, losing their visas, for saying what was being done in Palestine was a disgrace? But they said that these people were anti Semitic. But what are they saying about their own people? And one person actually said in this article that, okay, let's get to it. He referenced, uh, he referenced things that Charlie Kirk had been saying. He said that God forbid if you get on the airplane and you see somebody who's 10 shades darker than an Italian, you gotta worry. Isn't that similar to what Charlie Kirk was saying? There's also someone who kind of said that, we're holding the line for 45, 47. Like, we have to talk like this is because this is the way he talks. He would be proud of us, in other words. Gunter referring to an upcoming vote to whether he should become chair of the Young Republicans and Freedom of the GOP, 15,000 member political organization for Republicans between 18 and 40 years old. I'm going to create some of the greatest physiological torture methods known to man. We only want true believers, he continued. Two members of the chat box responded, everyone that votes no is going to the gas chamber, and everyone that endorses but then votes for us is going to the gas chamber. When do we start bullying, dude? I have three solid people who can probably have them want to jump. I don't know what he mean. If they vote for us, why would they be gassed? When do we bring that side out? Meaning the bullying side. And then they said, if they vote for us, why would they be gassed? I'm going to create some of the greatest physi- physiological torture method known to man. We only want true believers. Can we fix the showers? Gas chambers don't fit the Hitler aesthetic. I'm ready to watch people burn now. We gotta pretend that we like them. Hey, come on in, night, and take a nice shower. Relax. Boom, they're dead. This is what the future Republican Party. Now these people, some of them work in Washington D.C. Uh, it is alleged that one person has lost their job. It is alleged that one person had a job offer rescinded. Can we fix the showers? Okay, I just read that. Joe Mangio, who previously identified himself as the general counsel for the New York State Young Republicans, wrote back. Okay, I'm ready to watch people burn now. Annie Kakaki, a New York National Committee member, said. The exchange is part of a trove of telegram chats obtained by Politico and spanning more than 7 months of messages among young Republican leaders in New York, Kansas, Arizona, and Vermont. The chat offers an unfiltered look at how a new generation of GOP activists talk when they think No one is listening. Since Politico began making inquiries, one member of the group chat is no longer employed at their job and another job offer was rescinded. Prominent New York Republicans, including Representative Elise Stefanik, and she's crazy as fuck, her goddamn self, and State Senate Minority Robert Ort, Ort have denounced the chat. And festering resentment among young Republicans have now turned into public recriminations, including allegations of character assassination and extortion. So, when they found out that this was released, they came out with a whole lot of excuses before belatedly saying, I apologize. I'm sorry for saying that. But the first thing they said was they were being blackmailed and all of this stuff, and someone who and this wax guy, he actually works in DC. I forget what he does in DC. They said this wax character, he is the reason, he was the one who released this text thread out of some type of retribution for their infighting for who was going to be the chair of this disgusting group of people. So they are still bringing it out as, oh no, this is just because he's mad at me because uh, we are uh, we are fighting to be the top dog in this shit fest that we have. So they don't mean any of the apologies. The only thing that they're sorry about is that this got out in public. And let's see if we hear any chatter about this. Now, I've heard this on several of my uh, YouTube channels that I watch for information. But I wonder if you guys have heard this on any of your news stations if you watch news yourself. Title uh, 2 of the Voting Rights Act. Yes, they are having the actual dis- arguments today at the Supreme Court to determine if they are going to uh, X out Title 2 of the Voting Rights Act, which means that there will be a designated block of black voters. They are redistricting in so many states. Missouri, Indiana is in on it now. Texas was the first one who started it. There's another state, and then since they did it so blatantly in Texas and these other states, California put it on the ballot to redistrict to let them know that we can do it too. But we're just not going to come out and do it. It's another state that is redistricting, trying to block out all black voters to make the whole state red. So uh, I'm gonna definitely be reporting on that. So I didn't. Let me see. Let me see what else they have in here. The 2,900 pages of chat shared among dozens of millennial and Gen Z Republicans between early January and mid August chronicle their campaign to seize control of the National Young Republican Organization. On a hardline pro Donald Trump platform, many of the chat members already work inside the government or party politics and one served as a state senator. Together, the message reveal a culture where racist, anti-Semitic, and violent rhetoric circulate freely, and where the 45-47 era loosening of political norms has made such talk feel less taboo among those positioning themselves as the party's next leaders. Understand that. They feel that comfortable that this is what a leader in the United States is. That's what this make America great again stuff is. But You know, I'm just sick of the bullshit. I'm really sick of the bullshit. They want to shut you down for calling them out for what they actually do. And then they call you a terrorist of this nation as they are terrorizing everyone who isn't white in this nation. Make it make sense. I'm so sick of the bullshit. I'm really sick and tired of this bullshit. Okay, the more the political atmosphere is open and liberating, like it has been with the emergence of 45-47 and a more right-wing GOP even before him, it opens up young people and older people to telling racist jokes, making racist commentaries in private and in public, said Joe Flanagan, a Texas A&M uh, sociology professor who has studied racism for the last 60 years. He's also concerned the words would be applied to public policy. It's chilling, of course, because they will act on these views. The dynamic of easy racism and capital cruelty playing out often dark, vivid fashions inside the chats where campaign talk and party gossip blurred into streams of slurs and violent fantasies. Now, I want you to take a gander at these people. A gander at these people. This is one of the persons. Yeah, he seems quite dark himself, and his hairline seems like it's waning, and it seems like he hasn't found a meal that he does not like. And it also seems like he's quite prissy, a little small finger fella with these big fat thighs. Okay. Now, the group chat members spoke freely about pressures to kowtow to 45-47 to avoid being called a rhino, the love of Nazis within their party's right wing, and the president's alleged work to suppress documents related to wealthy financier Jeffrey Epstein's crimes. Now, one of them said 45-47 is too busy burning the Epstein files. Dr. Dreyer, the chair of the Kansas Republicans, wrote in one instance. So they are of the belief that he is too busy burning the files, but they are trying to stay in line to not get on his bad side that he may call them a rhino, that they may not what. This is not about belief. This is about power. If he, God forbid, if he turns around and look at me and call me a rhino, I will no longer be able to ascend to power in the Republican Party, even though my real belief is that he's too busy trying to burn the Epstein files. So if you think that he's too busy trying to burn the Epstein files, you also believe he's burning the Epstein files for a reason. And you believe this, and you're still cowing to a person who you believe is burning these files for a reason. But you want to have power in this party, so you're not going to get on his bad side. Make that make sense. These are the people who are calling Democrats and people who are protesting the bullshit that is going on in this administration terrorists. These are the people who are sit back and let you be labeled terrorists for protesting your government, which is in your constitutional rights. You know that right that we have. You know, I sit up and I watch Room Shaker sit up and talk about she'll be glad when the military comes out and they need the National Guard and all of this without any understanding of how this world is supposed to work. The norms and the guardrails and the actual rules and laws that are being just fucked over. It just makes me mad that people are so ignorant that they support their own demise. Kind of, it don't make me mad about these other people who fuck themselves, like these farmers who voted for 45, 47. I don't give a fuck about them. I give a fuck about me and mine. But it seems like too many of me and mine don't even care about what's going on for themselves. So they pick up the fucking talking points of the people who are trying to oppress them. This shit is crazy. Oh god, some people need to really say less. But keep talking. Keep talking. You know, just it's just ugh. Um, Let me see. Dryer and K Caddy decided to comment. Malingo and Hendricks did not return requests for comment, but some involved in the chat did respond publicly. The Guta, the guy who I just showed you, claimed the release of the chat is part of a highly coordinated year-long character assassination by Gavin Wax. Well, how is Gavin Wax character assassinating you by showing your own words? You character assassinated yourself. In the New York City Young Republican Club, a allusion to once obscure uh, intraniche or war that has now spilled out into the open. These logs were sourced by a way of extortion and provided to Politico by the very same people conspiring against me, he said. What's What's most disheartening is that despite my unwavering support of President 4547 since 2016, rogue members of this administration, including Gavin Wax, have participated in this conspiracy conspiracy to ruin me publicly simply because I challenged them privately. Is that the most disheartening thing? That's the most disheartening thing. Does it matter that you supported 45, 47 since 2026? The most disheartening thing is the shit that you said out of your mouth, thinking that it was necessary to be in the Republic Party as a supporter of 45, 47 since 2016. That you thought that this is the fucking attitude and the fucking shit you should have coming out of your mouth as a supporter since 2016 of Donald Trump. Are you kidding me? Wax, a staffer in Trump's State Department, formerly led the New York Young Republican Club, a separate city-based group that is at odds with the state's organization. The New York State's Young Republicans, he declined to comment. Despite all of his allusions to infighting, Guta still apologized. So he said all that. And so, what are we to make of this apology? I'm sorry to those offended by the insensitive and inexcusable language found within the more than 28,000 messages of private group chat that I created during my campaign to lead the Young Republicans. He actually created this thing. Now he's sorry to. I'm sorry to all of those offended. You're not sorry to all of those that you offended. I'm sorry if you offended. Uh, That's on you. I'm sorry if you offended. I'm not sorry for what I said. I'm just sorry if you offended about what I said. But I said what I said. It's on you because you offended. Okay. Okay. While I take complete responsibility, as I made excuses about it was infighting, I take complete responsibility, and I have no way of verifying the accuracy, and I am deeply concerned that the message log in question may have been deceptively doctored. Now you take complete responsibility at the same time as saying you have no way of verifying that what political have is the actual true message of the thread, and they could have been deceptively doctored. So you're not taking full responsibility for what you said. At least one person in the Telegram chat works in the 4547 administration, Michael Bartlett, who, according to his LinkedIn account, served as a senior advisor in the Office of General Counsel with the U.S. Small Business Administration. Bartlett did not have much to say in the chat, but he didn't offer any pushback against the offensive rhetoric in it either. He declined to comment to Politico. A notarized affidavit David signed by Bartlett and obtained by Politico also sheds light on the inter-party rivalry that led the restorative war room, the telegram chat to be made public. Bartler's reference to Wax as well. He wrote that he did not give Politico the chat, and that Wax demanded in a phone call that he provide a full chat log. So he's saying that the Wax guy demanded of him that he show him the full chat log. When I attempted to resist that demand after providing some of the requested information, Wax threatened my professional standing and raised the possibility of potential legal action related to an alleged breach of non-disclosure agreement. Bartlett's claimed that in the affidavit, my position within the New York Republicans Club was directly threatened, but you still wanted to be in the club because you still you still had some ambitions of being in power. How can he threaten a non-disclosure agreement? You're signing non-disclosure agreements in this club. Why is it necessary to even be in a non-disclosure agreement is what I want to know. Wax threatened my professional standing and raised a possibility of potential legal action. What fucking professional standings do you have? You have no professional standards, but you're worried about your standing. You're worried about your personal position. You're not worried about any standards to have said position. Walker, who now leads the New York State Republicans, touched on a similar theme, saying that he believes portions of the chat may have been altered, taken out of context. Isn't that their favorite thing? It was taken out of context, taken out of, or otherwise manipulated. It may have. It may have been taken out of context, manipulated. Be specific. And in the private exchange were up, and that the private exchanges were obtained and released in a way clearly intended to inflict harm. Well, how could the private exchange inflict harm if you didn't say some harmful shit in the claims? I mean, in the threads. He also apologized. He apologized after saying they may have been altered and taken out of context or otherwise manipulated, and the exchanges were meant to inflict harm. I believe meant to inflict harm on him. What you apologizing for then? Why are you apologizing? There is no excuse for the language and the tones in the message attributed to me. The language is wrong and harmful. I sincerely apologize, Walker said. This has been a painful lesson about judgment and trust. I am committed to moving forward. Of course, you just want to walk away from it with a greater care and respect and accountability and everything I say and do. Greater care and respect to make sure you go on Signal where the messages are deleted after a period of time where your messages disappear, or being an actual better person. 251 times mixed into uh, mix into formal conversation about whipping votes, social media strategy, and logistics. The members of the chat slung around a array of slurs, which Politico is republishing to show how they spoke. Epithets like agate, retard, and nigger appeared more than 251 times combined. In one instance, Walker, who was at the time a staffer for Ort, talked about how a mutual friend of some of the chat dated a very obese Indian woman for a period of time. Gutta responded that the woman was not Indian. She just didn't bathe often. Samuel Douglas, so they saying Indian people stink. That's what they're saying. You thought she was Indian because she didn't bathe often, so she stank. So that automatically made you think that she was Indian because Indian people stank. That's what he was saying. Oh my God. Samuel Douglas, a state senator from northern Vermont and the head of the state's Young Republican, replied to Gutta. In a separate conversation, he was the one who said, "Oh, she just didn't bathe off her," and that was his position. In a separate conversation, Gutta shared that his flight to Charleston, South Carolina, liner landed safely. Then he offered some advice for his fellow young Republicans. If your pilot is a she and she looks 10 shades darker than someone from Sicily, just end it there. Scream the no word, Gutta wrote. Douglas did not respond to requests for comments. The statement from Ort called for members of the chat to resign. Well, can't you fire them? Now let's look at some of these people. I was shocked and disgusted to learn about the racist, anti-Semitic, and misogynistic comments attributed to the members of the New York State Young Republicans. Ort said, "This behavior is indefensible and has no place in our party or anywhere in public life." Obviously, it does. Okay, so this is another one of these motherfucking pasty fat boys with a blue suit and white socks on. Another one. This is Bobby Walker. He speaks at the uh, New York State Republican their little conference in and the sixth annual Rising Stars reception. Walker had been in line to manage Republican Peter Orbach's campaign for Congress in upstate New York, but a spokesperson for that campaign said Walker won't be bought on in light of the comments in the chat. So this is the fat pasty boy who was talking all this dumb shit. So he lost his job. Seeking Trump's endorsement, the private rhetoric isn't happening in a vacuum. It comes amid a widespread coercing of the broader political disclosure and is and as incendiary and uh, racially offensive tropes from the right become increasingly common in public debate. Last month, 4547 posted a AI intelligence video that showed House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries in a sombrero beside Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, whose fabricated remarks were about trading free health care for immigration votes, a false, long running GOP trope. The sombrero meme has been widely used to mock Democrats as the government shutdown wears on. So it didn't happen in a vacuum. In his 2024 campaign, 4547 spread false reports of Haitian migrants eating pets, and at one of his rallies welcomed comedian Tony uh, what is his name? Hincliffe, who called Puerto Rico a floating island of garbage. And the joked about black people carving watermelons on Halloween. Liz Houston, a White House spokesperson, rejected the idea that 4547 rhetoric had anything to do with the chat members' language. Let me see. Only on an activist, only an activist left-wing reporter would desperately try to tie the president to a story about a random group chat. This is not so random. He has no affiliation. Uh, a random group that he has no affiliation with, while failing to mention the dangerous smears coming from Democrat politicians who have fantasized about murdering their opponents and so called Republican Nazi fascists, she said. Okay. That's what she said? Isn't that what they always say? When they're caught in their fucking hatred, they always say this. This is what they always says. And if you don't fail to mention the dangerous smears coming from the Democrat politicians who have fantasized about who fantasized about that? Who has fantasized about that? Put a name on it, because it's not Democrats. It's an individual. Who are you talking about? No one has been subjected to more vicious rhetoric and violence than President Trump and his supporters. Now, I've read this somewhere else before when some shit came out about Republicans. They must keep going to the same person. The Restorer War Room chat, Junta tells his fellow Republicans that he spoke with the White House about an endorsement from 4547 for his bid to become chairman of the National Federation. Trump and the Republicans National Committee ultimately decided to stay neutral in the race. The White House official said it has no affiliation with the Storer YR, that are hundreds of groups asking the White House for its endorsement. Gunter, it was the most prominent voice in the chat, spreading racist messages, often encouraged or liked by other members. When Luke Moseum, the chair of the Arizona Young Republic, asked if the New Yorkers in the chat were watching a NBA playoff game, Gunter responded, "I'd go to the zoo if I wanted to watch monkeys play ball." Gunter elsewhere refers to black people as the watermelon people. Okay, Hendricks made a similar remark in July. Bro is at a chicken restaurant ordering his food. Would he like some watermelon and Kool-Aid with that? Hendricks, oh, this is just Hendricks was a communication assistant for Kansas Republican Attorney General Chris Kobach until Thursday. He also said that in the chat that despite political differences, he's drawn to Missouri's youth Republican organization because Missouri doesn't like, I guess he means homosexuals. Missouri doesn't like. Here's another one. This is that one. This look like a trans man. Look like that's what he looks like. It looks like a big fat woman. Are they sure this is a man? I don't see no dick print. I just see a lot of fucking wrinkles in his pant where his thighs are eating up his motherfucking pants. Are those titties? Are those titties? These are the people talking all this shit. Okay. Okay. Let me see. Let me see what else. Yeah, I had some back and forth with the VC in Michigan. Current chair said, current chair is a deer in the headlights. We have a call Wednesday. Many agree. He didn't say my delegates I bring will vote for the most right wing person. Great. I love Hitler. Okay. In another exchange, Dreyer, a Kansas chair, informs Gutta that one of the Michigan Young Republicans promised him a The group will vote for the most right wing person to lead the national organization. Great, I love Hitler, Gunther responded. Dreyer reacted with a smiley face. Few minority groups were spared. Gunther, who serves as chief of staff to the New York State Assembly member Mike Riley, ultimately fell 6 points short of winning the chairmanship to lead the Young Republicans National Federalization earlier this year, despite earlier endorsement for Stefanik, a longtime uh, 45-47 advisor Roger Stone. Kelly did not respond for requests for comment earlier this year. Stefanik accepted an award from the New York State Young Republicans. She lauded Gunta for his tremendous leadership in August and had her campaign and the political PAC she leads donate to the state organization. Alex DeGracias, a senior advisor for Stefanik, said that the Congresswoman was absolutely appalled to learn about the alleged comments made by leaders of the New York State Young Republicans and other state Young Republicans in a large national group chat. Okay. According to okay. The comments were heinous and anti Semitic, racist, and unacceptable. He continued, noting that Stefanik has never employed anyone in that chat. If the description by Politico is accurate, Congresswoman Stefanik calls for any New York Young Republicans responsible for these horrific comments in this chat to step down immediately. Stone also condemned the comments. That's Roger Stone. Also condemned the comment. Of course, I have never seen this alleged chat room thread, he said. If if it is authentic, I would of course denounce any such comments in the strongest possible terms. This would surprise me this would surprise me, as it is inconsistent with Peter that I know. How can it be? You're making excuses. You this is inconsistent with the Peter I know. Although I only know him and in his capacity as the head of the New York Young Republicans, where I thought he did a good job. Um, Let me see. Few minority groups were spared from the Young Republicans group chat. Their rhetoric, normalized at most points as dark humor, mirrors some popular conservative political commentators, podcasts, and comedians amid a national erosion of what's considered acceptable discourse. Let me see. Okay, Walker also used the moniker Eye Patch McCain, originally coined by the conservative commentator Tucker Carlson, in an apparent reference to GOP Representative Dan Crenshaw, who lost his eye while serving as a Navy SEAL in Afghanistan. Walker also makes re- remarked, I prefer my war heroes not captured, a repeat of the similar 2015 line from Donald Trump. So since the man got lost his eye, you have a preference how you like your war heroes, but have any of you fat fuckers been able to go to war? Is there a uniform to fit any of you fat fuckers who talking about how you prefer your heroes to be? Art Gibson, a professor at the University of Dayton who specializes in white radical extremism, surmised the young Republicans in the chat were influenced by 45-47 language, which he said is often hyperbolic and emotionally charged. Uh, Trump's persistent use of hostile and often inflammatory language that normalize aggressive discourse in conservative circles can be incredibly influential on young operatives who are still trying to figure it out. These people are from something to 40. And now they want to act like these are young, impressionable kids. What was the ages? Something 18 to 40. These are they're just still trying to figure it out. But we need to charge black kids as adults in Washington D.C. That was one of the things that they said they need to bring down the age to 14 for crimes and for black kids in Washington D.C. But you want to talk about these motherfuckers are still trying to figure it out? The fuck out of my face. White supremacist symbols. Gibson received multiple excerpts of the Young Republicans chat that provide political. One was late was a late July message where uh, Mosaman, the chair of the Arizona Young Republicans, mused about how the group could win support for their preferred candidate by linking an opponent to white supremacist group. But Mosam then realized the plan could backfire. Kansas Young Republicans could end up becoming attracted to the opponents. Like, oh shit, I may make him too popular if I say shit, they may like it too much and we may lose. It may not be a bad thing in this party. Can we get them to start releasing Nazi edits with her, like pro Nazi and fascism propaganda? He asked in the group. Oh my God. I love this plan, Rachel Hope, the Arizona Young Republicans events chair, responded. The only problem is we will lose the Kansas delegation. Mosom said, Hope, wait a minute, Hope and the two Kansas Republicans in the chat reacted with a laughing face to the message. Hope did not respond to requests for comments. Mosom declined to comment as well. Okay, so just a whole lot of bullshit. You say it once or twice, it's a joke, but you say it 251 times, it's no longer a joke, Jism said. The more we repeat certain ideas, the more they really become to us. Weeks later, someone in the chat staying in a hotel asked its members to guess what room we're in. 1488 Dreyer responded. White supremacists used the number 1488 because 14 is the number of words in the white supremacist slogan. We must secure the existence of our people and future for white children. H is the eighth number in the alphabet, and 88 is often used as a shorthand for Hail Hitler. So they were excited that they were in Rome 1488. In another conversation in February, Gutta talks approvingly about the Orange County Teenage Republican Organization in New York, which appears to be part of the network of national teenage Republicans, and how he was pleased with its young members' ideological bent. They support slavery and all that shit, MAGA base, he said. Then the term based in internet culture is used to express approval with an idea, often one that's bold or controversial. In a statement, Orange County GOP Chair Canfield Green said the party is disappointed to learn that his teen group was mentioned in the chat. Our team volunteers has no affiliation with them, and this behavior has no home with the Republican Party in Orange County. Yeah, sure. Ed Cox, the chair of the New York State GOP, also condemned the remarks made in the chat. I was shocked and disgusted to learn about the reports of comments made by a small group of young Republicans, he said. Just as we call out vile racist and anti-Semitic rhetoric on the far left, we must not tolerate it within our ranks. Okay, so this goes on and on. Let me see. Oh, it's just jokes. Members of the Telegram chat speak about their personal lives too. Extensive discussion about their everyday lives include one exchange about how devoutly Catholic some chat members are and how often they attend church. Many of the slurs and epithets and violent language used in the chat often appear to be intended as jokes. We're just joking. Okay. Most Musamman was derided by members of the chat as a beaner and a spick. Stay in the closet, Agate. Walker of New York also just in July that he is the group's main target for the same epithet. So he's a Mexican. The group used slurs against Asians too. Many people built the train tracks while Chinese Walker. Many people built the trains with the Chinese. Walker says at one point, referring to his Italian ancestors, let his people go. I can't. Sex is gay. In another instance, Muslim tell the group that the Spanish came to America and had sex with every single woman. Sex is gay, Dyer writes. Sex, it was a rape, Muslim replied. Epic, Walter says. Okay, it's just a whole bunch of bullshit. There's more explicit malice in some phrases too, especially when they turn their ire on opponents outside the chat, such as the leader of the rival Grow YR Slate Hayden pageant, who defended Aguta and was re-elected chairman of the Young Republican National Federation this summer. So you mean Hayden Agate wrote the resolution himself? Gunter acts in the group about the National Young Republican chair in late May. Oh, these people are really. There you go. Here's another representation. A fat, pasty, not getting no pussy, so they pretend like they don't like no pussy, motherfucking assholes. Let me see. So that's the story. Let me see. Let me see. In another instance, Douglas, the Vermont state senator, describes how the group members described to the group members how one of the pageant's Jewish colleagues may have made a procedural error related to the number of Maryland delegates permitted at the national convention. I was about to say, you're giving nationalists such credit and expecting the Jews to be honest, Brian Douglas said. Sam's wife, a Vermont Young Republicans National Committee member, replied to her husband's message. Brianna Douglas did not respond to repeated requests for comments. So isn't that anti-Semitic? Talking about you giving Jews too much credit to be honest. If we ever had a leak in this chat, while responding to the article, Politico was examining a separate allegation that Gunta and the Young Republicans mismanaged the New York organization finances and hadn't paid at least one venue for a swanky holiday party it hosted. So they're thieves as well. Last year, Politico reported the Re- Political's report detailed how the organization was missing required financial disclosure forms and how their subsequent efforts to file the forms revealed the organization was in more than $28,000 of debt. As of Tuesday, updated records show the organization is more than $38,000 in debt. Donations to the New York State Young Republicans, so they're thieves as well. Political account must be reported to the State Board of Elections. Expenditures must be reported too, so they're thieves as well. So this is the upcoming, up and coming Republicans. Now, you think that why is it that more than likely, some people get away from, their racism. You know why people are not getting away from the old tropes of racism, like they did in the 70s and stuff. Each generation usually step away from, you see people have friends of all different races. You know why? Because that is what the Republican Party used to separate themselves, from other people, to make themselves appear to be victims, while they are always victimizing other races of people. They always have to have an enemy. It always has to be someone else's fault for them to stay in power and to feel empowered. Let me see. What else? What else? What else? So this is what they're talking about. The link is in my chat. The link is in my chat. No wonder they talking about Ozempic. All of them motherfuckers that I showed need Ozempic. And the bitch, what's her name? Kim somebody, she a fat hoe too. They all need Ozempic. Accounts be like $500. Balding cream, $1,000. Ozempic. Walker said in one message, uh, NYSYR will be declaring bankruptcy after this. I just know it, said another. I drank 10K tonight and to pay for my next vacation to Italy. Gupta appeared to joke about the organization's bank account. So they just spending money. Uh, they definitely need to spend that money on Ozempic, them fat fucks. Okay. So I can't wait to get sued by our venue. So they're not paying their venue. Members of the chat occasionally appear to be aware of its toxicity and even made remarks that uh, considered the possibility of someone outside of their tight knit group could view it. Walker seemed to consider that possibility the most. In one instance, he joked about bombing the Young Republican National Federation convention in Nashville and then remarked, "Just kidding, for our assigned FBI tracker." Ain't that something? Your future Republican Party. And don't they say the left is so violent? Is that what they say about the left? If we ever had a leak of this chat, we will be cooked for real, for real. Y'all heard about that? Do y'all care about that? So are y'all? Nobody's surprised about that. Ain't nobody surprised about that bullshit. Hey, Yagative. Hey, Jackson Street. Hey, Lana. Good morning to you. Good morning, just my thoughts. If they pass it, Democrats would lose 19 Democrat seats in Congress. That's a lot of seats. I think that they're gonna. I think they're gonna pass it. I think they're gonna strip Title II from the voting rights. I definitely think they're going to do that. Hey, Madison, it's good to see you as well. So let's get into some more stuff that I want to talk about. So we're supposed to be surprised that these Republicans are racist as hell. Nappy child, that I speak. Now, you guys know that I love Adam Mockler. He was on the Abby Phillip show. I definitely want to share this because that Scott Jennings is so he is such a clown. So Adam Mockler, I think he just turned 23 years old. And you have Scott Jennings always up here, going with whichever way the wind blows, that will protect the Republican Party. And he sits up here with a smirk on his face, like he's so unbothered. I don't understand. Well, I do understand. See, he is probably getting paid more money than Abby Phillips at the rate they have him on. He ought to be the co-host. They always have him on as if he's a guest, but he's on there every motherfucking day with his bullshit. So let's get into a 22-year-old getting in his ass. The last time he was on the show, he kind of made a shot at how young Adam was. Like, oh, do you know anything about that, or how do you know anything about that? So Adam ate him up. Let's check this out.
Guys, we got the long lost Hanson brother is back with us. I don't have any beef with the Hanson brothers, but I do with this one. Let's get into
term. The Wall Street Journal reports shocked at how little resistance he's getting. Donald Trump is reportedly shocked at how little resistance he's getting in his second term. The Wall Street Journal reports that the president feels emboldened, while top advisors joke that he's ruling lawmakers with an iron fist. In fact, longtime ally Steve Bannon is likening Congress to the Russian assembly, whose purpose under Vladimir Putin is largely ceremonial. Now, Barack Obama.
Now, this is gonna scare you that he's saying out loud that he is surprised about how little pushback he's getting. That's why I'm sick of Chuck Schumer. That's why I'm sick of Hakeem Jeffries. That's why I'm sick of a lot of them. And the one person who speaks up the most, Jasmine Crockett, AOC, they pummel them every chance they get to the point that Stephen A. Smith think that he's going to come out the closet, come from under Sean Hannity's butt cheek, and think that he is the one who is supposed to tear down this black woman, as he pretend like he has some political prowess enough to not to run for congressman, not to run for mayor, not to run for president. And he knows absolutely nothing about. He shows that he knows absolutely nothing about how government works, but he thinks that him coming out here talking about people shows that he has something to offer. I'm thinking about it. People have been telling me to, and I'm really thinking about it. You don't know shit. You ain't never said shit about no motherfucking policy, Stephen A. Smith. The only thing you talk about is people. How did I get on Stephen A. Smith? Because of this administration think that it is so easy. All of this shit that has gone on in this nation since 45, 47 has been in office, and Stephen A. Smith is talking shit about Jasmine Crockett and ain't saying shit about 45, 47, as he pretends as if he voted for Kamala Harris. Motherfucker, you don't nobody give a fuck who you voted for. You don't have to disclose who you voted for. Your position on tearing down black women lets us know that ain't no way in fuck you voted for Kamala Harris. And while never saying anything about what's really going on, and you can't blame it on Congress because this motherfucker's doing shit via executive order, denying defining the not what am I trying to say? Not obeying the orders of judges. What is that? What am I trying? Defining, not defining. defying government orders. I'm like, what the fuck am I trying to say? Defying actual judge's orders. But you ain't got shit to say about that. So you know, he's get he gets no pushback. While the people who has the least power is getting all the blame and the pushback. I'm sick of this. I am really sick of this. But the Supreme Court backs all of this bullshit up. So I saw a post. Hey, Nubiology. I saw a post on Instagram, and there is a clause. Everybody talk about the 25th Amendment. If you're not familiar, how if you're not familiar with Article 2 of the executive branch in Section 4 of the Constitution, there is actually, instead of Article 25, forgetting the president out of office, impeaching the president, there is a Article 2 of the executive branch, Section 4, the president, the vice president, and all civil officers of the United States shall be removed from office on impeachment for and conviction of treason, bribery, of other high crimes and misdemeanors. So I think that there is cause to impeach the president, the vice president, the speaker of the house, and a lot of these Supreme Court justices. So everybody talk about Article 25. So if something happens to 45, 47, you still have J.D. Vance waiting in the wings. And so what good, what do you have? You got the same old shit. So let's dive into this video.
Agrees. The former president is scolding businesses and universities for not standing up to Trump and for criticizing his values.
We have blown through, just in the last 6 months, a whole range of not simply assumptions, but rules and laws and practices that were put in place to ensure that nobody's above the law, and that we don't use the federal government to simply reward our friends and punish our enemies.
Now, I want to start with the Trump part of this, which is what Bannon notes in this piece, which is essentially that he's treating Congress just as like, you know, a ceremonial thing that's there to just like sign off on his policies. And that is kind of how Congress is behaving in this moment. So I'm not surprised, I guess, I don't know if you are, that Trump feels like he can kind of do whatever he wants in this moment.
So I agree that Congress needs to rediscover its agency and actually start acting like Congress, start legislating, end the shutdown, all of that jazz. But I think it would be really silly to accuse Trump of being, again, this like unilateral executive when under the Biden administration, the Obama administrations, they maximized their mandate fully. We remember Obamacare was the hallmark achievement of Obama's term. We forget how extremely controversial, divisive that was at the time.
That was passed with a supermajority in Congress.
But the point is that he pushed it through.
I mean, that was
Trump is ruling for
legislative.
He had to go through a supermajority, not a simple majority. Now, we forget that you guys never came up with an alternative plan as well. You forget. I don't forget that. You're talking about how unpopular people having health care, and the reason that the government is shut down right now because they're not extending tax credits. So just because Obamacare got tax credit, that makes Obamacare bad health care, as opposed to what health care that you are offering in its place? Absolutely none. And so you're trying to make Obama care be a bad thing because they were granted tax credits during COVID. What you guys always forget to say. So therefore, the whole Obamacare needs to be balled up and replaced with having no health care insurance. These people, I just don't understand how they are not embarrassed to come out here and say the dumb shit that they are saying. Who is this bitch?
Accomplishments that was passed with, they needed 60 votes to get that done, and they got it done with 60 votes.
Biden instituted.
I don't think there's anything that they've gotten 60 votes.
Trump is ruling the executive order.
If you want to talk about rule by executive order, Biden issued a ton of
Donald Trump on
orders.
his first day issued a historic amount, and since then he has been subverting Congress. He appointed Elon Musk in a special position, and it seems like they were subverting the power of the purse the entire time. At the end of the day, Congress has been Donald Trump has been stomping on them, not even paying attention to them. He has absolutely been consolidating power by appointing loyalists into key positions across agencies, and then those agencies, I mean,
let's talk about
he
who's setting
directly,
precedent
The president
here.
of the United States appointed people who support his agenda to
Are you
place in
telling
the
me?
federal
Are
government?
you telling me that you're okay
Oh, my
with
goodness.
Donald Trump asking Pam Bondi directly? It was supposed to be a DM, and he
Come on.
accidentally posted it. Don't just come on now. This is
all presidents
unprecedented.
appoint their supporters and the
Come
people who
on.
support
Do they
their
ask
agenda
their
to federal
supporters to
agencies.
indict 3 people,
all
and then
presidents-
and 2 of
and
those
all
3 people are then
presidents
indicted?
work their members of Congress
this is
from their
dishonest.
party to pass their agenda.
This is
Whether
dishonest.
if you have the party if your party is in charge in Congress, they look to the president to set the agenda for the party. After all, in the elections, people who turn out to vote are typically voting.
So
for the
Biden never
presidential
weaponized
candidate.
his DOJ,
So-
and that's what you're saying. Biden never asked.
No, he absolutely did.
When did he ask
You want to
Merrick
talk about
Garland?
lawfare?
When did he ask Merrick Garland to go after someone? Trump sent a
Oh,
DM
wait.
to Pam
Wait
Bondi.
a minute,
This is
wait a minute.
unprecedented.
The Merrick Garland who sent the parental rights memo
So did
that
Bi-
basically demonized
And Biden
parents
asked him to do that
protested
when? When
at
did
school
Biden?
board meetings.
I'm going to ask you a simple question. When did Biden ask him to do that?
Garland collaborated with Biden
When
to
did Biden
send that
directly
memo
ask him to do that?
weaponizing the FBI and
Hold
law
on.
enforcement
Garland collaborated with Biden.
with the Biden administration. Yes.
Okay.
That was their
Garland
policy. I mean,
collaborated
it was
with
the
Biden.
administration's
And I think
policy.
that,
It absolutely
Adam's
was.
question, and it's a question I guess apparently this comes up on the show every other.
The Hanson brother has a hand countable amount of brain cells. She's effing lying. Mommy, and quickly, by definition, Obama and Biden didn't steamroll anything if they got bipartisan support. As you
Dummy.
as
by the White House. Where's the evidence that
See, they just want to sit on here and come and say anything, and people believe this shit.
today is where is the evidence that that was directed by the White House? Where's the evidence that it was directed? And I'm
They have
going to
none.
broaden it, like not just the president, because you could argue that if you're going to compare apples to apples, the direction needs to come from the president, but from the White House. Where's the evidence of that?
Where's the evidence they disagreed with it? Is this not his
Wait,
administration's
disagreeing with
policy?
it is not a crime.
You notice she asked, "Where's the evidence of it?" So he comes in. See, you can't answer a question with a question. Where's the evidence that they disagree with it? So you're saying that there's no evidence of it. So you don't have any evidence of it. So now she has to present evidence that he disagreed with it. Why does she have to present evidence that that he disagreed with it when there's no evidence that he forced them to do it? Get the fuck out of my face. I don't understand. Okay, I do understand. Because what's his name? Ellison. Whatever his name. Who is buying up CNN? This is your both sides ism news. Now we're talking about Joe Biden. All of a sudden, now all of a sudden we talking about Joe Biden, and the comments started out about 45, 47. Now people they always do this. Well, Biden did the same thing when they know goddamn well Biden has done none of this. Now people are arguing, clawing back the bullshit that Biden allegedly did something that he's never done. And the conversation is off of what 45, 47 has actually done and has been doing, subverting Congress via all these executive orders and ignoring judges' rulings.
That's a totally different.
Is it not his?
That's
Is
a
it
totally
not his
different
policy?
thing.
Was it not his administration's policy?
Where's the
They just
evidence
changed
that
the
Where is
argument.
the evidence that he wasn't happy with his own
But hold on a
administration's
second,
policy?
Scott. I actually
Exactly. They just changed the argument. And they continue to allow them to change the argument.
think that's a really important point because whether it is agreement or disagreement, both of those things would be involving themselves in what's going on at DOJ in a way that most presidents don't, and that Donald Trump is. So whether or not they said do this or don't do that, both of those things would actually be off limits in a world in which DOJ is allowed to pursue.
That's what the executive
A world in which DOJ is allowed to pursue the rule of law.
If Joe Biden was mad about Merrick Garland going after ordinary parents, he could have put a stop to it. But I think he loved it.
Do you think that the president should be engaged one way or another, saying affirmatively?
It doesn't matter what you think. If Joe Biden didn't like it, he could have stopped it. That's what I think. So what? And what does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with the facts that you're trying to say that he actually sent Merrick Garland to do something? Just because that's what you think, he could have stopped it. You said that Joe Biden interfered with what Merrick Garland did, who Merrick Garland went after, with absolutely no proof other than what you feel. It ain't about what you feel. It's about the facts. It's about facts and fuck what you feel.
Or saying negatively. What about what the DOJ is doing?
I have told you many times.
You
I
think
think it's
so?
fine for the president to express opinions about how his
He
administration
directly
operates.
asked her.
Okay.
I love
And I
watching the
also think it's
conservatives
fine for
duck
processes.
and dodge.
Listen,
No answer.
I think that this is super important because Adam's making an important point. Trump said, "You're not doing your job." In fact, he said something very similar just the other day. I mean, you're not doing your job. He called out 3 names. 2 of those people have been indicted. So that's more than just expressing an opinion. That was an order.
It is
to
extraordinarily
his Attorney General.
naive to believe that the Biden Department
We're
of
being
Justice
naive?
operated as some disembodied, floating,
But you know it's
quasi-
legal.
But see,
magical
no.
seahorse.
I love watching
That's not the way it
knows
works.
what his department's
Not the way it works.
Those are his departments.
All right, go ahead.
It's executive
For me,
branch.
the problem is, especially Brother Scott, though, man, if one side is doing something immoral, all you're going to do is point out what the other side did that was
What is
immoral.
immoral?
There's no
What is immoral?
equivocation here.
Tell me what's immoral.
The violation of constitutional separation of sites and spheres.
Who set that precedent?
If
Who
one
set that
party is
precedent?
weaponizing, you say the
Okay,
other party
I
is
love
weaponizing.
watching the
So
conservatives
that
on
we
this
never
panel.
get beyond any kind of immorality. We just rationalize more immorality.
I disagree with you. I fucking disagree with you because you're not comparing any immoralities. You're putting up straw arguments that don't stand the test. They're lying. And you guys are sitting up there thinking that you have to argue a lie. Just call it bullshit and get back on topic. Just because they say it is and you know goddamn well it ain't, why you fucking arguing this and talking about here we go with the both sides ism. Both sides are immoral. What did he prove to you that was immoral when they said that Biden was cahooting with Merrick about who to prosecute? And have been unable to enunciate an example of that happening. So why are you both siding this? I'm fucking sick of this for-profit media. Make it, and look at him sitting up there. Yeah, I got you, motherfuckers, with that little stupid smug smile because you guys are arguing a mute point.
Concentration of power, and you end up.
I
In the
I
end,
think that that's
for the-
fundamentally
for
I
the
mean, look,
fascism. That's how
I
you.
think
That's
that,
how you
that
end
there
up
are
with
quibbles
fascism.
about whether
No
or
morality
not
whatsoever.
you guys have proof of your allegations of weaponization, which I've heard none so far at this table.
2013
But even
IRS
Even if you did have
targeting,
weaponization of both, so what? They're both wrong. They're both wrong.
Right,
They're both
exactly.
wrong.
So even if you do, wouldn't the correct response be to restore actual rule of law in those institutions as opposed to further weaponizing them?
Absolutely.
Are you sure that the people who've been indicted aren't guilty?
That's not the
I didn't-
point. That is not the point.
I didn't make any. I
talking
didn't make any
about?
statements about their guilt or innocence.
But you seem to think it's a violation of the
But can
rule
you
of law for a
acknowledge
grand
who
jury to have
crossed the
indicted them.
Rubicon?
Scott,
That's
that's
what I
not what we're talking about here. We are talking about Donald Trump's role in directing his attorney general about who to prosecute. That's what we're talking
Who
about.
then has to go to a grand jury and present evidence and go through the process like everybody else in this
But
country.
the first prosecutor, Eric Siebert, didn't want to do it, so Trump forced him out. I love watching the
The grand
conservatives.
jury met.
Listen, I
They
love watching the
brought
conservatives
charges.
on this
I know you
panel
don't wanna believe
dodge
it,
and
but they
weave
did.
with zero evidence whatsoever.
Speaking of which, Eric Siebert said that there was no case to try against Letitia James. Donald Trump bragged that he fired him. Eric Siebert said that he quit because they were trying to pressure him to bring a case because he respect his law license. So then Donald Trump go gets this airhead Lindsey Harrington or something like that. I forget her last name. He goes get this beauty pageant attorney who has never tried a case. It never tried a not tried a case. She has never bought a case against someone, and he signs her on. But you know what? They inserted her in this position, and she is not supposed to even have been inserted in this position. So she is the one who brought a grand jury and charged Comey, and she's the one who brought a grand jury and tried Letitia James. However, the Sieber guy who wouldn't bring charges against Comey or Letitia James, he was the one that they had inserted in the position. So, kind of like the New Jersey situation where Alina Habba was the temporary, I think it's, I forget the position, not the Attorney General, the chief prosecutor in New Jersey. She only had 90 days in that position, and after the 90 days, she had to go before Congress and had to be approved for that position. She was not approved for that position. Just like a Siebert guy in Virginia, he was a interim a person who was in that position. They put him in that position. However, he was approved to stay in that position. See, that's the difference. So then when he don't do 45-47's bidding, then he either got fired or quit that position. However, Trump cannot go back in and appoint and put someone in the seat. He only has one chance to do that, and he had taken his one chance with Eric Sieber. So the bitch who brought the charges against Comey and Letitia James is not even supposed to be in that seat. You know who is supposed to appoint someone for that position that he gave his former beauty contestant? The three panel judges were supposed to put someone in that seat after Eric Siebert, who said that there was no case to try. So what Trump did in even putting her in that seat is illegal. And you know what's happening right now? James Comey has filed the paperwork saying just as much. His case ought to be dismissed because she's an invalid person to even bring the case. Kind of like Alina Habba in New Jersey. They tried to install her in Cory Booker, and they blue carded her, where the senator has to approve the seat, and Cory Booker and the other senator from New Jersey would not allow her to keep the seat, and therefore the seat was taken away from her, and so the next woman up was awarded the seat by a 3-panel judge. And you know what Bundy did? She was the next up for the seat in New Jersey. So Pam Bimbo fired her when the judge appointed her that seat and gave the seat back to Alina Habba, who after she went through her 90 days, the second in command moved up by the judges. Alina Habba became the second in command behind this woman that the judges put in. So Pam Bimbo fired the prosecutor that the judges appointed to that seat in New Jersey. And since Alina Habba was now the second one, she became the first in charge. However, attorneys in New Jersey said, no, she is illegally in this seat and she has no right to try any cases in New Jersey. So you have attorneys who are saying she cannot bring this case because she is not the rightful person to bring this case. So you know what they're doing now in the Department of Justice? Every case that goes up in the courts in New Jersey, the second in command, Blanchard, Todd Blanchard, has to sign all of the cases that Alina Habba is bringing forth in New Jersey, because she's an unqualified person sitting in that seat and refusing to go, and they are refusing to fire who? Alina Habba, who used to be 4547's personal attorney. Quid pro quo, who never even successfully tried a case for him. A whole, let me tell you. This is my opinion. He has these motherfucking bitches who sit around in Mar-a-Lago and fucking around in Mar-a-Lago, probably fucking more of these old motherfucking geezers than the law allow. And now of these bitches are unqualified, are in these positions and doing his bidding, and he wants to keep them there. Where is the merit? I thought that this now, they talk about DEI and people getting a position based on their merit. Nobody in Virginia will go into court with Lindsey Halligan, who is trying to do his bidding and prosecute James Comey and Letitia James. Ain't nobody going into court with this motherfucking bimbo hoe. She got somebody from South Carolina to bring the case, and they are the ones who are doing all the fucking talking. This bitch is in this position illegally, but they tell you that they are firing 4-star black generals because they are not there to meet the moment. This is what Pete Hegseth said as he fired a 4-star black general. What was he? What was he? The I already told you the story. What was he? I forget his position. And feels this Raising Cane guy, the Joint Chief of Staff that they gave to this Raising Cane guy. He was a retired 3-star general. They appointed him months ago. Last week or the week before last, he actually just completed all of his qualifications for the job that they gave him and took away from the black 4-star general. You have heard them having Raising Cain was sitting at the dais when they bombed Iran. And he still didn't have all the credentials for the fucking job that they took from the black man. I'm sick of this bullshit. I am sick of this bullshit.
Of any weaponization. I've asked you this multiple times, and you have no evidence, yet Donald Trump tried to send Pam Bondi a DM. This should be embarrassing that you are defending the President of the United States as he is directly
I'm defending a process of grand juries that's existed in this country for a very long time.
I want to just raise this one with you because one of the other...
Oh, that was a beating. That's Scott's nervous drink.
Okay. I forgot what they was talking about. I'm so fucking pissed with this shit. Now, all these unqualified people, and you have these people swinging for them. Now, I'm going to give you one more. I got to give you one more with Abby Phillips. I think they need to take Abby Phillips off the air. Sometimes I'm happy with her. Most times I'm sick of all this over talking and her bringing all these liars on to try to both sides shit that's not being done on both sides. So let's get into this.
Tonight, the vice president is weighing in on thousands of leaked messages from young Republicans.
Now, what does the vice president have to say about these leaked messages from the young Republicans?
Who were joking about gas chambers, slavery, and rape. Politico reports on Telegram chats involving leaders of the groups across the country from the first 7 months of this year. And one of the messages referred to black people as monkeys and watermelon people. One fantasized about raping their enemies and driving them to suicide. One called rape, quote, epic. Another supported Republicans who they believe support slavery. One talked about sending political opponents to gas chambers to, quote, watch people burn now. Slurs were reportedly used more than 250 times, including racist and homophobic ones. The outlet reports that at least one texter lost their job for this, and another had their job offer rescinded, and at least 2 of them apologized. High-profile state Republicans like Republican Representative Lee Stefanik have condemned the messages, and the young Republicans called the chains vile, disgraceful, and inexcusable. But Vice President J.D. Vance is taking a different approach tonight, citing the text of a Democratic candidate for Virginia's Attorney General from a couple of years ago in which he suggested a lawmaker get 2 bullets to the head. Vance writes, quote, this is far worse than anything said in a college group chat, and the guy who said it could become the AG of Virginia.
A college group chat. Oh, see, so we understand that these people are between the ages of 18 and 40. We understand that one of these person is an actual state Congress person, but he wants to come out and lie and say, oh, they say white people in their early 20s, they're kids, but they say black children who are 14 years old should be tried as adults. So he wants to. The whole shit is bullshit. A college thread. None of these motherfuckers are in college.
I refuse to join the pearl clutching when powerful people call for political violence. It's an interesting choice.
Of course you're not going to pearl clutch. You're set up by Peter Thiel. Of course you're not going to clutch your pearls. You are a staunch believer in all of the racist shit that Curtis Yarvin spews, who actually is a Holocaust denier. But you want to fancy all of the good thought that Curtis Yarvin puts out, while you are in agreement with calling college students that protest for the Palestinian people and call them terrorists and take their visas, try to deport them, talking about all the anti-Semitic shit that's going on in any college campus that had protests in support of the Palestinians, because these, not that they're protesting for the Palestinians, y'all wanted to say that they were protesting for Hamas and saying that the anti-Semitism was too much in colleges and start taking money from colleges. As this motherfucking Curtis Yarvin fan sits up here and lie back and forth. Fuck JD Vance.
On Vance's part.
Yeah, I think the vice president missed an opportunity here. I mean, these are young Republicans, disgusting. They're learning a hard life lesson on the public stage right now, that you need to grow up and not say stupid and hateful and just disgusting things. I think the vice president could have really used this moment as a learning moment, and encouraging these young men and women, I don't know who they were, but to be better and to denounce what they've said, to move on and be better. These are young Republicans, and so I don't hold necessarily anyone responsible. They're young, they need to make mistakes, they need to apologize and see the error and move forward, and I wish that the vice president would have said that. I don't understand the excuse for the Democrat nominee for Attorney General in Virginia. He texted even worse things as an adult, as a sitting office holder, about a colleague in the state assembly. And so they're not comparable. They really aren't. These comments are disgusting. I really hope these young men and women learn from this, learn that how wrong it was, and become better. And I really hope, I'm glad to see a number of Republicans step up and condemn them as well, because they're terrible. But I do think to say that this somehow justifies that Jay Jones did nothing wrong and should still be the nominee.
You just did exactly the same thing that JD Vance did. Except for the fact that you denounced the words, but you immediately pivoted.
I wouldn't have brought him up.
But you immediately pivoted to a Democrat instead of focusing on the fact that this is a pattern. The saddest thing about this story is that it was not the least bit surprising to me. I mean, I don't think anyone who I know who's familiar with where the Republican Party has been going the past decade or so is the least
or fascist.
JD Vance literally called Donald Trump Hitler. What are you talking about?
Dumbass.
JD Vance said that himself. JD Vance called Donald Trump Hitler.
Where the Democrat Party is going?
Kristen, and also Ben, as we played multiple times here, Trump has repeatedly called his Democratic opponents fascist. So that argument does not hold.
And there's a whole.
Look at him laughing. These people are such pieces of crap. These people just don't care. Oh, racism, fascism. Oh, it's just all funny, right? You big ear fuck. Like, look at those effing messages. Is it okay now that we call you guys fascists, bigots, racist, Hitler-loving pieces of shit?
Racism in the Republican Party started in 19...
You guys had slavery, we were against it.
Okay, let me...
The Democratic Party literally was a party of slavery. So let's not act like there's not history. If you want to talk history, slavery is the Democratic Party.
Why don't we just listen to you then? Tell us about black history.
On that one, every American should be able to tell you about it. You don't have to be black to say that the Democratic Party was in favor of slavery, the party of slavery.
Ben, you don't know what you're talking about. Let me just say that.
It wasn't the Republican Party. History is there.
Because I do think that there's something interesting. Look, I just want to say, I think Kristen is 100% right. This was an opportunity that was missed, right? To say...
Are you effing kidding me? An opportunity missed. A mistake. It's on effing purpose. It's on purpose. You know this. There are no innocent. Like, this is not a mistake by JD Vance. The difference between all of this is the pattern. There is no pattern of people saying things like what the guy Jay Jones said 2 years ago about 2 bullets to the head or whatever. But when it comes to racism, do you not see the consistent pattern within the Republican Party, from the online pundits to the TV pundits like Scott Jennings that couldn't answer a simple question? Is saying the statement Haitians are eating cats and dogs racist? Froze for a whole minute there. Home, like, cut the crap.
We draw the line somewhere in our politics. And it's not the first time that but Vance has seen an opportunity like that and completely blown past it. Back in February, Vance and Trump called for the rehiring of a DOJ staffer who quit over racist posts, and they did rehire that individual. I think let's not get distracted by some of the other parts of this, but why is it that, he's unwilling to just say, this is disgusting, this is vile, this has no place in the Republican Party? cut it out.
Yeah, two things I think can be true here. Number one, I'm glad we know who these conservatives are. I think there should be consequences for their words. I don't think this is just a teaching moment. I think if they have a job, they should lose their job. I don't think they should work in the Republican Party.
How about J.D. Vance and Trump? Should they lose their effing jobs? And all these other bigots in the party? Marjorie Taylor Greene calling AOC and whatever the squad, the Jihad squad? Should they be fired?
I don't think they should be involved in the Republican Party. I think they should be excommunicated and put on the bench for a pretty good amount of time. I want to be clear about that. I also think that if you are about to be in elected office in Virginia and you said things are worse than this, and you said that the kids deserve to be hurt, that two things can be true at the same time. Republicans, young Republicans, saying this, they should absolutely have the consequence.
But it's not just young Republicans, Ben.
But Keith,
but Democrats have defended an individual who said that family members should die.
Let me just say, I mean, these are separate incidents.
Yeah.
However, the same question that I posed to them does apply to Democrats in the case of the Virginia case. And,
Thank you.
And it's easy to say I condemn that. How hard is it for Virginia Vance to say I condemn what these Republicans are doing?
To say it, if that's the question. If the question is,
the question is, if I'm saying
but my point, and you kind of made this earlier, Abby, is that there are racist Republicans who are currently working in the Trump administration who have been outed for their racism, and Trump let them stay there. One guy said America should be led by white men only. White men only. One guy said this, and Trump put him in.
So by that justification, every Democrat talks the same way that Joe does. By that same justification, every Democrat wants their opponents to die.
Just let me speak here.
Hold on a second. I'm not understanding the point that you're making.
The point that I'm making, if you're trying to say that these texts are symbolic of the Republican Party at large, then I can say that Jay Jones's texts are symbolic of the Democrat Party.
You know what? You can't say that because when Jay Jones says something, Democrats condemn it, like I just did. But J.D. Vance, the Vice President of the United States, refused to condemn what these Republicans did. The Vice President of the United States, even though the Vice President of the United States, because Donald Trump has a history of racism, and the fish rots from the head.
Wait a second.
These people didn't get this idea on their own. They're getting it from Donald Trump.
Who is Jay Jones's model?
Just give me
Jay Jones.
Oh Lord. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I hope I haven't been on mute all that time. That's why I think that that's why I think that we need to be looking at Article 2, Section 4, the president, the vice president, all civil officers, that those are judges as well, of the United States shall be removed from office on impeachment for and convicted of treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. Forget Article 25 that would only. I'm sorry. Thank you, Yagovitz. Forget Article 25 that only will impeach the president. I think that there needs to be as broad as the step that has been taken by this administration in these first months of this presidency. I think that the people should have a more broad answer, because if you get rid of 45, 47, you still have this asshole JD Vance, and we're gonna go a little deeper into that. Okay.
This is not the issue.
Just give me 1 second.
He's
It's the same.
already
It's the same philosophy.
He's already been
All right,
You're taking
everybody
a
stop.
bunch of young
Everybody
kids
stop
and
for
their
just
stupid, disgusting
one
texts and
second.
saying it's the Republican Party. What is the difference between me saying it's a Democrat?
But hold on. That's why I want you guys to stop for just a second. But Keith, is that
Oh my God! It clearly hit a nerve with her. She knows there's no comparison between this guy Jay Jones from 2 years ago. Like, there's no comparison because there is no pattern. Do you understand the word pattern? You effing idiot. She knows the truth about her party, and that's why I hit a nerve. She probably hates it because she gets looped in with these bigots in her party. And I've talked about this before. There's a lot of people out there.
this is representative of the
You
Republican
said it.
Party?
I am saying exactly that. The Republican Party in the past 10 years has moved down the road of racism. So it's not surprising that you see the open embrace of Nazism, of anti-Semitism, of homophobia, of transphobia, of sexism, of attacks on immigrants and xenophobia. Because the Republican Party
American
under
people
Donald,
don't
the
believe
Republican
that.
Party
That
under
line of
Donald
thinking
Trump,
would say that
the
the Democrat
Republican
Party
Party
has
under
moved to the
Donald
party of
Trump
death.
has doubled down on its racism.
All right, Anna, go ahead.
Look, I'll tell you what I found really sad about this is that this is a very young generation it was, people, it was young Republicans in Vermont and in Arizona and in New York, so all over the country, and they were so young. So it kind of, to me, it just breaks my heart that, we haven't moved past the racial stereotypes that maybe were somehow accepted. We keep forgiving people who said racist, stupid things 60 years ago because that's when it was accepted. Today, it shouldn't be accepted. There should be consequences, and it breaks my heart that there's 20-year-old kids who are in leadership positions in Republican organizations who are saying these things. And I do applaud Elise Stefanik and any other Republican who condemns them. I think it's par for the course for J.D. Vance. And the reason I think that they do that is because J.D. Vance knows that some racists in the Republican Party are supportive of their administration and does not want to antagonize them.
All right.
So is that why no one has
Thank
called
you
on
very
Jay
much
Jones
for
to step
being
down?
here.
All right. So there's that. Now, if you guys didn't see JD Vance on George what is this? Stephanopoulos show on this Sunday, George Stephanopoulos was asking him some direct questions, and JD Vance tried to filibuster, tried to just not answer the question, and then he had the nerves to say that's why no one watches your show, and he tried to insult him as he sat up there and gave all of these non-answer answers to George Stephanopoulos. And no, that's why no one watches your show. And George let him say what he wanted to say, and he said, "I didn't accuse." I'm gonna play this clip for you. Just get a little taste of all of this. No, I don't. I can't. I can't. We're going to get down to this last question that George is asking about the border czar taking $50,000 as reported by their own FBI, filmed on caught on film, and JD Vance shut down the. No, I mean the administration shut down the investigation of this $50,000 given to ensure some ICE contract business for this alleged business that the FBI was doing a sting on this man. And they're trying to say he did nothing wrong. Nobody will say if he has taken this money. No one, from Pam Bondi to Tim Holloman to JD Vance, when they're asked, did he take the money? Nobody is saying no. Nobody is saying no, he didn't take the money. But then they are trying to act as if the people who are asking them valid questions are doing something so wrong. So you're gonna see you're gonna see uh Stephanopoulos uh reinstate. No, I didn't accuse anybody of anything. I asked you a question and you didn't answer the question, and he turns his seat towards the camera and goes into commercial break, and JD Vance starts talking again, and they cut his motherfucking mic and they went to commercial break. It's like, fuck you, motherfucker, we're done here. And then I'm going to show you how 45 and 47, as he was sitting in the White House yesterday, giving the president of Argentina, who is already blown through uh, billions of dollars that he has gotten from the, who did he get it from? The United Nations, I believe, billions of dollars to prop up his failing economy. The one who Boule in Argentina, the one who handed over his chainsaw, because he that was his big prop, that he was going to take a chainsaw to all of these agencies in Argentina. Now Argentina is failing. Argentina is failing. So after he passes over the chainsaw to Elon Musk at CPAC as if he was so successful. Look what I did. And now here it is 6-7 months later. The United States, who it will do nothing for the United States if his government fails or succeeds, gives him 20 billion of our tax dollars to bail the chainsaw wielding motherfucker who was cutting all government agencies, and now his people are living in abject poverty. So they decide to give him $20 billion of United States money during the government shutdown, but they can't bail out the farmers. The only reason I'm saying this, I don't give a fuck really about people who voted for this. 77% of the farmers voted for this, but they can't do a relief for the farmers until the government is reopened. But they can relieve this motherfucker who with the chainsaw who fucked over his people, his government, and he's still failing. His economy was still about to fall off a motherfucking cliff. So what does Scott Bessent, our Treasury Secretary, do? See, they want you to believe that Scott Bessent was so successful, so such. Hold on, let me clear my throat. They want you to believe that Scott Bessent is such a whiz with money that they put him over the Treasury. And I showed a video that showed you when Scott Bessent did his best when Scott Bessent was working under who? George Soros. That's who the Treasury Secretary used to work under. And when he left and started his own investment company, he bankrupted it damn near, lost 90% of the money. So they want you to believe that Bessent is a up and up money guy. And the reason why Argentina is being bailed out, because one of Bessent's buddy is in the minerals in Argentina. You know, this administration is really big on these minerals. So the only person who is being bailed out by the United States is Bessent's, buddy. And they're bailing out Argentina to the tune of 20 billion US dollars, as about 20 million United States citizens are about to lose health care. But they're not having no conversations. They have taken another week off. So, and your president told the Republicans don't even talk to Democrats. But they giving $20 billion of your money to Argentina to help out Scott Bessent's buddy who is invested in minerals in Argentina? Why you got to learn this from Ronnie Q? How come your for-profit media is not telling you this? Why are they talking about all the loans that Argentina has got? I think it's from the UN, not the UN, the UA, from somebody. All the other international money that they have given Argentina to prop up their pesos, and they still have fucked it over. You think the United States is getting this $20 billion back? Okay, so let's get into this.
Covered the story ad nauseum. Tom Homan did not take a bribe. It's a ridiculous smear work in the United States of America.
The White House border czar Tom Homan was recorded on an FBI surveillance tape in September 2024, accepting $50,000 in cash. Did he keep that money or give it back?
George, you've covered the story ad nauseum. Tom Homan did not take a bribe. It's a ridiculous smear. And the reason you guys are going after Tom Homan so aggressively is because he's doing the...
He asked you, did he take the money? He didn't ask you, did he take the bribe? Because we know if he took the money, he took the bribe. He asked you, did he take the money? What's the answer to that question?
Job of enforcing the law. I think it's really preposterous. I know Tom. I think that he's a good man. He gets death threats. He gets attacked.
So what does that say about you? You think that he's a good man, but you can't answer if he took the money. What does that say about you?
He gets constantly threatened by people because he has the audacity to want to enforce the country's immigration laws. I think that it would be a much more interesting story about why is it that Tom Homan, who is simply enforcing Americans' immigration law, is getting constantly harassed and threatened to the point of death threats. That's a much more interesting question that I think journalists should focus on. We can agree to disagree on that question.
Oh, wait, you said he didn't take a bribe.
How are you going to agree or disagree on a question? Because you are the interviewee. He's the interviewer. You don't. If you had some questions that you wanted off limits, you were supposed to let him know what questions prior to the show that you didn't want to answer. You can't agree to disagree about a motherfucking question about somebody in your administration who got all of these people running through our streets, even arresting United States citizens. But now you disagree with the premise of the question, which is a straightforward question. So you got Donald Trump sitting up there with Boule or Mule or whatever his name is from Argentina, coming over here to get his money. And then 4547 had the nerve to talk shit. That's why I want to show you this interview. He had the nerve to talk shit when somebody from ABC asked a question when he was sitting up there giving $20 billion to a fucking fool who done fucked over a whole bunch of billions of dollars, talking about he's cutting shit that his people need. And it's the poster bar for the fool that they had over the United States government, saying he was going to do the same thing that the president of Argentina did for his country. But he got a problem with George Stephanopoulos. Let's continue.
I'm not sure you answered the question. Are you saying that he did not accept the $50,000?
George, this story has been covered ad nauseum. He did not take a bribe. Did he accept $50,000? I'm sure that in the course of Tom Homan's life, he has been paid more than $50,000 for services. The question is, did he do something illegal? And there's absolutely no evidence that Tom Homan has ever taken a bribe or done anything illegal,
I'm asking you,
which
did
is
he...
why he's working in the administration.
I'm asking you, did he accept the $50,000 that was caught on the surveillance tape? Did he accept that $50,000 or not?
George, I don't know what you're talking about. Did he accept $50,000 for what?
You know exactly what he's talking about. You know exactly what he's talking about. This is the Vice President of the United States. This is his answer. They still have not devised an answer because they can't say no because the answer is yes.
He was recorded on an audio tape in September 2024, an FBI surveillance tape, accepting $50,000 in cash. Did he keep that money?
Accepting $50,000 for doing what, George? I'm not even sure I understand the question. Is it illegal to take a payment for doing services? The FBI has.
How are you going to take a payment for being doing services when 47 was not even in office and he did not even have the job that they were trying to solicit business? If 47 when he gets in office and he would be the border czar, then that they will give him contracts under this bloated ass budget that you gave this sneaky crime ridden motherfucker position over all of this money. You know what it is. If you don't know what it is, I know what it is. That's the question. Did he take $50,000 to secure that he would give these people contracts of our fucking money under this bloated ICE budget, the biggest budget, police budget of all budgets? That's what the question is, bitch.
Not prosecuted him. I've never seen any evidence that he's engaged.
You know, he wasn't prosecuted because you guys shut down the investigation. Did he take the money, though?
The FBI has not prosecuted him. I've never seen any evidence that he's engaged in criminal wrongdoing. Nobody has accused Tom of violating a crime, even the far left media like yourself. So I'm actually not sure what the precise question is. Did he accept $50,000? Honestly, George, I don't know the answer to that question. What I do know is that he didn't violate a crime.
So you don't, what was?
No, they shut down the investigation. They refused, just because your administration shut down the investigation and didn't charge him with a crime, they have not come out and said that he did not take the money from somebody when he was not in the job or in the position to I don't know. You know, I'm pretty sure he was paid $50,000 for the jobs that he does. He didn't have the job. So how he taking $50,000 before he had the job? So how you try to pretend like the $50,000 was for doing a job when he didn't even have the job position, bitch? All right, I'm not going to interrupt anymore.
Caught on the tape, you're saying right now you don't know whether or not he kept that money.
I don't know what tape you're referring to, George. I saw media reports that Tom Homan accepted a bribe. There's no evidence of that. And here's, George, why fewer and fewer people watch your program and why you're losing credibility. Because you're talking for now 5 minutes with the Vice President of the United States about this story regarding Tom Homan, a story that I've read about, but I don't even know the video that you're talking about. Meanwhile,
well, if you've read about it, you know exactly what video he's talking about. And the goddamn gall of you to sit up here and say, that's why no many people watch your show and you're sitting up here with the Vice President of the United States and you're not showing a due reverence if from the you're not showing due reverence when you're sitting up here talking to the Vice President of the United States who can only get booked to be on your show, who the Vice President of the United States himself is trying to slam because don't that many people watch his show. Well, bitch, you are on the show. You have accepted to be seen on a show that don't that many people watch, to have some reverence. Your goddamn self. Okay, I'm not going to interrupt anymore. Here we go.
talking for now 5 minutes with the Vice President of the United States about this story regarding Tom Homan, a story that I've read about, but I don't even know the video that you're talking about. Meanwhile, low-income women can't get food because the Democrats and Chuck Schumer have shut down the government. Right now, we're trying to figure out how to pay our troops because Chuck Schumer has shut down the government. You're focused on a bogus story. You're insinuating criminal wrongdoing against a guy who has done nothing wrong instead of focusing.
You're focusing on I lied. You're focusing on a bogus story. But you just said you don't know about any tape. You read about the story. You don't know about the tape. You don't know this. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't. How? If you don't know, how do you know the story is bogus? If you don't know, how are you saying that he's focusing on a bogus story? But you don't know the answer about this. I don't know what tape you're talking about. I don't know. I don't know. You're focusing on a bogus story. I don't know. Okay.
Against a guy who has done nothing wrong instead of focusing on the fact that our country is struggling because our government's shut down. Let's talk about the real issues, George. I think the American people would benefit much more from that than from you going down some weird left-wing rabbit hole where the facts clearly show that Tom Homan didn't engage in any criminal wrongdoing.
It's not a weird left-wing rabbit hole. I didn't insinuate anything. I asked you whether Tom Homan accepted $50,000, as was heard on an audio tape recorded by the FBI in September 2024, and you did not answer the question. Thank you for your time this morning.
Oh, shit. They didn't.
In the past couple of weeks,
oh, shit. They didn't show the part where he. Oh my God. They didn't show the part where he turned.
Well, Mayor just simply refused to do the.
God. I cannot believe they didn't show where Stephanopoulos turned in his chair and J.D. Vance tried to keep on talking. Hold on. Let me see if I can find that. How dare them cut it off? Let me see if I can find it for you right quick. Let me see if I can find it. Because the only thing I want...
And joining me now is the Vice President of the United States, J.D. Vance. Mr. Vice President, welcome back to Meet the Press.
Why is she on here?
Good morning, Kristen.
She's not George Stephanopoulos. Let me find it. Here we go.
Well, Vice President J.D. Vance appeared on several morning shows this morning. And the one that I really sort of appreciated was the one with George Stephanopoulos.
Here we go.
Thank you for your time this morning.
No, George, I said that I don't.
Up next, we'll be right back.
Now, note how...
Reported by the FBI in September 2024, and you did not answer the question. Thank you for your time this morning.
No, George, I said that I don't.
Up next, we'll be right back.
There, that's what we wanted. That's what we wanted. Right there.
Audio tape recorded by the FBI in September 2024, and you did not answer the question. Thank you for your time this morning.
No, George, I said that I don't.
Up next, we'll be right back.
Now,
there we go. Let me drop this man's clip in the chat because he had. I didn't realize. Good morning, Leonard. I didn't realize that they had cut the sweet spot out. Now, here's the link if you want to check that out again. I just wanted to check out the end. So, you saw how patient Stephanopoulos was with him. And now 4547 is sitting up there giving away $20 billion to a motherfucker who has bad judgment and how to spend money. And 4547 has the nerve to be upset and pissed about what happened in the Stephanopoulos interview. Now, let's hear what he had to say when he is opened the floor for questions about giving away $20 billion of our dollars, and a reporter from ABC has a question.
You did with Stephanopoulos to the Vice President of the United States. I don't take questions from ABC fake news. Brian.
Oh, so he's finally stopped with the comb over. We see the big bald spot in this shot.
Go ahead. Yes, sir. I don't take questions from ABC fake news. After what you did with Stephanopoulos to the Vice President of the United States, I don't take questions from ABC fake news. Brian, go ahead. Yes, sir. I don't take questions.
I don't take questions from ABC fake news after what you did, after what Stephanopoulos, not you yourself, after what Stephanopoulos did to J.D. Vance. What did he do to him? What did he do to him? Got sick of, he ran his show and got sick of a motherfucker sitting up there not answering his question, thinking that he's going to sit there and play footsie with him. Is that what he did to him? Now, he even goes further. Let's view the longer clip of what this fool had to say about what happened with Stephanopoulos. Here we go.
After what you did with Stephanopoulos to the Vice President of the United States, I don't take questions from ABC fake news. Brian, go ahead. Yes, sir. I don't take questions from ABC fake news. After what you did with Stephanopoulos to the Vice President of the...
I'm sorry, I fucking closed out the wrong one. Let me open up the right one again. Let me see if I can find it. Oh my God. I think I deleted it. I can't believe I deleted it. I can't believe I deleted it.
I don't take questions from ABC fake news. After what you did with Stephanopoulos to...
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. ABC, 4547 disseminates an ABC reporter in defense of J.D. Vance. Here we go.
Fake news.
Mr. President, first of all, congratulations.
Your ABC fake news.
Mr. President, first of all, congratulations.
I don't take questions from ABC fake news. After what you did with Stephanopoulos to the Vice President of the United States, I don't take questions from ABC fake news. Brian, go ahead.
Yes.
question. Thank you for your time this morning.
No,
When
George, I said that I
Governor
don't.
Up next, we'll be right back.
A couple of questions from the news, and I'm sure they'll be extremely non-hostile and friendly. Like JD went through a very friendly interview with George Slobodanopoulos, who was nice enough to pay me $16 million the last time we came. He had a
George didn't pay you anything. You filed a lawsuit against ABC. ABC settled the case out of court, but you're sitting up here calling him George Slobodanopoulos and that he paid you $16 million. You had a lawsuit, and ABC capitulated to you, and this is what happens. I'm pretty sure there will be another lawsuit incoming because he cut the mic and cut to commercial.
pay $16 million to me, which was good. It was worth having somebody lie. If you get $16 million, that's good. But JD had a very nasty person interviewing him, and we can't let that happen. Just as inappropriate to cut off a highly respected vice president of the United States mid-sentence.
Highly respected where? He didn't cut him off mid-sentence. He was not cut off mid-sentence. Stephanopoulos had asked him a question, gave him plenty opportunity to answer it. He said what he had to say and thanked him for being on there and turned his chair. Now, all of a sudden, he was cut off mid-sentence. Was he cut off mid-sentence? Let's review what happened one more time. Let's see this cutting off mid-sentence.
Whether Tom Homan accepted $50,000, as was heard on an audio tape recorded by the FBI in September 2024, and you did not answer the question. Thank you for your time this morning.
No, George, I said that I don't.
Up next, we'll be right back.
So he said, "Thank you for your time." He bid him adieu. Now all of a sudden, he cut him off mid-sentence. They're victims.
Nasty person interviewing him, and we can't let that happen. Just as inappropriate to cut off a highly respected vice president of the United States mid-sentence. I guess it's one way to win an argument. That was the only way he was going to win the argument. So it was pretty inappropriate, I want to tell you that.
So did you guys see? Did you guys see that? If you didn't see that, I highly respected. Exactly, highly respected my ass. So I just wanted to show you now. They have pivot to something else, trying to play victim and all of this. Okay, so all of this BS, basically, a bunch of BS. Now, speaking of JD Vance, did you guys know that his financial backer, Peter Thiel, did a series of interviews. Not interviews, a series of lectures in San Francisco that were off the record lectures where he actually was talking about the Antichrist. Now, you guys who watch me know that I have played a video of Peter Thiel not being able to quickly answer if humanity should go forward. You guys have seen me show videos of Peter Thiel saying that democracy was not a good thing, and you needed to figure out a way to run this country without having the input of voters, because democracy, basically, I'm paraphrasing, because the democracy is not working out. So in this series of lectures that Peter Thiel gave, he was talking about he was talking about the Antichrist. And in short, what he said that was the Antichrist is anybody who is against the advancement of AI and technology. So if you are against, if you have anything bad to say about technology and the advancement of AI, you were the Antichrist. He also said something in akin to that Greta Thunberg, the activist. I didn't know that she was autistic as well. The activist who was trying to do so many flotillas to Palestine to give them food aid, medical aid, and all that. And they were finally, and I had the videos lined up last week and I never got to them. Her final flotilla. I think the Italian military was out at sea because they had, I think it was 6 or 8 ships going to Palestine, and they always have been diverted by Israel. And on this last one, they actually took all the people captive. Now she is like a a climate protester. That's where she first made her mark, protesting about climate control. And so this flotilla, they took them off of their boat, and they imprisoned them. I think it was for a day or two. And they talked about the bad treatment that they were given. Some people are saying that she was tortured. That they were saying that she was spit on. That she was made to kiss the Israeli flag. Those are some reports that happened to them. So Peter Thiel, a multi-billionaire, had the nerves to say that she was the Antichrist. So these are some of the things that Peter Thiel was expounding in his little talk. So if you are for helping people who are going through a actual genocide, you are the Antichrist. If you are against this AI technology, you are the Antichrist. So let's get into the Peter Thiel of it all. And this is the same person who has given J.D. Vance's all of his connections and jobs after he got out of college, after he took him under his wing and supported his campaign, financed his Senate campaign. This is the same Peter Thiel. Since we're talking about J.D. Vance, where is this? Let me see. Here it is. Now, Peter Thiel is expounding all of this Christian nationalist type of stuff as well. He's trying to say that, trying to weave in a Christianity and all of this shit. But Peter Thiel, you're gay. Christian nationalists don't want anything to do with gay people. Have we forgot about that? So do as I say, not as I do, type of shit. So let me share this with you. If you guys have not heard about this bullshit and see where everybody is going with this shit, the billionaires are able to tell you how you are going to live your life. And if you don't do what they like, they're going to say that you are the Antichrist of all things. Here we go. Secular Talk with Kyle Kalinske.
Oh, but so this guy is all right, guys. We got to talk about this guy, Peter Thiel. We've talked about him a little bit on the show, but so this guy is, I mean, just he's almost like a comic book villain of a billionaire robber baron. He's almost like a comic book villain. So take a look at this. This article just came out in the Washington Post. Inside billionaire Peter Thiel's private lectures, warning of the Antichrist and U.S. destruction. The Washington Post reviewed leaked audio from 4 off-the-record lectures the tech investor delivered in San Francisco over the past month that fused beliefs about religion and technology. So this guy did 4 lectures on the rise of the Antichrist and why we should all fear the Antichrist. Now, as you're about to see, and we'll go through it, if anybody is the Antichrist, it would be him. It would be him. So here, let's see what he says. Tech billionaire Peter Thiel recently warned that Swedish activist Greta Thunberg and critics of technology or AI are legionnaires of the Antichrist in private lectures on Christianity that connected government oversight of Silicon Valley to an apocalyptic future, according to recordings reviewed by the Washington Post. So what he's saying is, if you support any regulation on the tech billionaires and on artificial intelligence, if you support any regulation, you're the Antichrist. So in other words, this technology that they're working on, which is basically like trying to create a god in the computer, right? They're trying to create this artificial intelligence, this general intelligence where you don't even need to put a prompt in. It could just solve all your problems for you, cure cancer, do whatever. They're trying to create God in a computer, but they're saying that the people who are trying to stop these assholes from playing God, somehow we're the problem. The people who are saying, hey, let's preserve humanity and let's not fucking gamble on this and let's not make these huge data centers that pollute everything in sight and poison people and triple your fucking health, your energy bill. Say we're the problem somehow, but he's not. Okay, let's continue. In 4 roughly 2-hour lectures, which began last month and culminated Monday at the Commonwealth Club in San Francisco, Thiel laid out his religious views to a sold-out audience, told to keep the contents off the record, according to an event listing. He argued that those who propose limits on technology development not only hinder business, but also threaten to usher in the destruction of the United States and an era of global totalitarian rule, according to the recordings. So global totalitarian rule is what he's ushering in. That's what he's the Palantir guy. Palantir is creating this mass spying blackmail database network. That's what he's doing. He's doing the Patriot Act on human growth hormone and steroids. That's what he's doing. So he's trying to usher in totalitarian rule while he's saying his opponents are doing that. This is insane. By the way, also attacking Greta. This is a 22-year-old autistic activist who's literally just trying to deliver food and water and medicine to starving children in Gaza. And somehow she's the Antichrist? Oh my God. In the 17th and 18th century, the Antichrist would have been Dr. Strangelove, a scientist who did all this sort of evil, crazy science, Thiel said in his September 15th opening talk, according to the recordings. In the 21st century, the Antichrist is a Luddite who wants to stop all science. It's someone like Greta, he said, referring to Thunberg and Eliezer Yudkowsky, a prominent critic of the tech industry's approach to AI. That's fucking crazy, bro. That's crazy. By the way, you want to talk about who's stopping science? That would be Elon Musk, who cut pediatric cancer research and Meals on Wheels and research grants and medical grants and scientific research. This is what Elon cut with Doge. This is what Trump did. It's not that we're anti-science. We're totally.
Now, what I did not know, it looked like he's going to play that clip. I hope he plays the full range of this clip where he was interviewed. He actually says that basically he wants to infuse the physical body with the computer. He wants you to live via a computer. Actually give up your physical body and live on through some type of computer type of shit, where a computer would take over different parts of your body. Say if you had a heart problem, is how I'm understanding it. You would have a computerized heart, but you would live via through a computer. Like mankind will live on, but you're not going to live on in your physical body. This is the shit that he's talking about. That your vice president, who can answer a simple question, did Tom Hallman take $50,000 in the bag that was videotaped by the FBI, according to the FBI? See, these are the people who are getting tax cuts. These are the people who are so busy getting government contracts to control and monitor you and everything about your life. These are the people who have been giving the keys to the castle in your government systems to do these things, to harvest all of your information while getting government subsidies, while being government welfare babies, and you pay for it. And these are the people who are turning their data centers into bills for you to cool off the data that they are collecting on you for free, and you have to pay an extra electricity bills and water bills to store this data that 4547 let them have for free on you to privatize things that the government is supposed to do for this nation. Under the Constitution, I played a little bit of that for you guys. So I just wonder if you guys are up on that.
Unregulated artificial intelligence, which uses a tremendous amount of energy and has all these other problems associated with it, like with no regulation whatsoever. How can we tell what the fuck is real anymore? Right? There's that problem too. How can we tell what's real anymore? Look at the Sora videos and tell me we don't have a serious problem on our hands. What is this guy? And by the way, this is what he looks like. What is this guy doing running around talking about the Antichrist? First of all, in every single picture and video I've seen of this man, his face is sweating and his face is so oily that it looks like he has something wrong with him, right? I've made the joke that it looks like he's a vampire and he sucks the blood of babies before he ever has a camera on him every time. I mean, it is disturbing what this man looks like. There's also creepy stuff in his past with an ex-lover of his who wound up dead. I won't go into any more details on that, but that's a sketchy scenario. And then, of course, there was that thing that happened, a few months back where he did an interview with the New York Times conservative columnist Ross Douthat. He gave us these moments that made everybody, even people who nominally support him, were looking at him like, huh? Come again? Watch this.
You would prefer the human race to endure, right? You're hesitating.
Yeah, well,
yes?
I don't know. I would.
This is a long hesitation. This is a long hesitation.
There's so many questions implicit in
Should
this.
the human race survive?
Yes.
Okay.
But I also.
But Greta's the Antichrist. You're the Antichrist. I'm the Antichrist because we want to regulate AI and make sure it doesn't destroy everything and everyone. Make sure it doesn't fucking quadruple your energy bills, right? We're the problem here. He's totally normal. He's totally fine. He can't directly answer if he wants humanity to survive.
Would I also would like us to radically solve these problems,
right.
And so it's always, I don't know, transhumanism is this, the ideal was this radical transformation where your human natural body gets transformed into an immortal body, and there's a critique of, let's say, the trans people in a sexual context, or a transvestite is someone who changes their clothes and cross dresses, and a transsexual is someone where you change your penis into a vagina, and we can then debate how well those surgeries work. But we want more transformation than that. The critique is not that it's weird and unnatural. It's so pathetically little. And okay, we want more than cross dressing or changing your sex organs. We want you to be able to change your heart and change your mind and change your whole body. And then Orthodox Christianity, by the way, the critique Orthodox.
Jesus Christ. These guys are transhumanists, right? So they want to like be able to download their consciousness into a computer and live forever. How is this any different from some like actual, cartoon villain type shit, superhero villain type shit? It really does sound like that to me.
Christianity has of this is these things.
But they want to be trans with computers. But they have being transsexual in that what is that? MS PM7 about transgender people. They had a whole outcry about transgender people through this election cycle. Leonard, thank you for that information. I heard about her little Greta Thornburg or Thornburg or however you pronounce her name. I heard about her little about being a climate activist. I had no idea about all of that. So thank you for that information. So they had a whole thing about trans people. This election that was their little keyword about trans people. But he wants you to keep this undercover. I cannot believe he didn't believe that these talks would get out. I cannot believe this. I guess he thought that I know if he told the for-profit media that he didn't want it out, they would not put it out. If he had wanted it out, they would have put it out because they are embedded with these billionaires to put certain messages out. So there's that.
Don't go far enough. Like the transhuman.
That's such bullshit too, because the criticism from Christians of trans people, for example, conservatives against trans people is like, oh, it's degeneracy, it's unnatural. They're not saying, oh, we support that you've changed, but we want you to change more. We want you to have an artificial heart as well. That's not what they say. You're making this shit up.
Is just changing your body, but you also need to transform your soul, and you need to transform your whole self. And so,
right. But the other wait. Sorry, I generally agree with what I think is your belief that religion should be a friend to science and ideas of scientific progress. I think any idea of divine providence has to encompass the fact that we have progressed and achieved and done things that would have been unimaginable to our ancestors. But it still also seems like, yeah, the promise of Christianity in the end is you get the perfected body and the perfected soul through God's grace, and the person who tries to do it on their own with a bunch of machines is likely to end up as a dystopian character.
Well, it's let's articulate this.
And you can have a heretical form of Christianity, that says something else.
I don't know. I think the word nature does not occur once in the Old Testament, and so if you and there is a word in which a sense in which the way I understand the Judeo-Christian inspiration is it is about transcending nature. It is about overcoming things, and the closest thing you can say to nature is that people are fallen, and that's the natural thing in a Christian sense is that you're messed up, and that's true, but there's some ways that, with God's help, you are supposed to transcend that and overcome that.
So these people are anti-human. Peter Thiel is anti-human. That's what this is. There's really no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And this guy also wants total control, right? He wants total control. He wants to live in his own little protected corporate fiefdom. And, this was one of the ideas laid out by Curtis Yarvin, this right-wing philosopher who all these guys like, is this idea that the tech oligarch billionaires should basically get their own little fiefdoms where they're basically little emperors. And they have...
Did I not tell you this? Did I not tell you this? Did I not show you these little places that Peter Thiel actually owns, and they have houses and communities, kind of like the community, the white-only communities that they are setting up in the United States. I forget where his communities are, but these are lavish communities because you have to know somebody to get in his private communities. And they make their own laws and they govern themselves and all of that. I've been telling you guys about this long ago. What is that? The lady, I always forget her name, who was married to the guy who died from liver cancer. They were trying to get, what is his name? Oh, God. Who was over Apple? What was his name? She was, a bunch of wealthy investors were trying to put up a city like this in Northern California, buying out all of this farmland. So these people have been doing this. I have been telling you that these people have been doing this for a long time. Now, I also gave you the connection, the Curtis Yarvin connection. They think he is so intelligent that he was spewing. He is actual Holocaust denier as well. But they so concerned about anti-Semitism is what they want you to believe. Now, I also showed you the other day that now Yarvin is threatening to leave the United States because they're not enacting what he believes quickly enough. So it's a lot of stuff going on. The wealth is steadily rising to the top. Let me show you this last thing. And then I am going to have to go. I want to know if you guys heard Steve Bannon is saying, Steve Bannon has alluded to the fact that 4547 is not leaving the White House. If that, I don't know why y'all thought he was, but now he's talking about it openly. So let's get into the latest from what Steve Bannon had to say.
Inside the White House, top advisors joke that they are ruling Congress with an iron fist. Steve Bannon, the influential Trump ally, likened Congress to the Duma, the Russian assembly that is largely ceremonial. Congress,
they are ceremonial. They're doing absolutely nothing but what they are told in following orders. He ain't never lied right there.
Democrats, do you understand what they're saying here? They're saying y'all a bunch of bitches. They're saying you're useless. They're saying they could fucking steamroll your ass and get away with it day after day after day. That's what they're saying.
Why wouldn't they say it? Because it's true. I'm saying the same thing. They do absolutely nothing other than what they're told. They're like fucking robots.
Are you going to do something about it, or are you just going to sit there and bleed? That's the question. Because look, to this point, Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries, I'll give Chuck Schumer credit on this, the government shutdown portion, which half credit, because I think they should have asked for more. I think they should have asked for withdrawing ICE and the U.S. military from invading American cities, right? But outside of that, I don't see him. I don't hear him. I don't see the fight. And Trump is literally joking about. I mean, guys, go back to what Elon Musk was doing with Doge, right? He was illegally hacking into our government. He was illegally, cutting off the funding for medical research and scientific research and USAID and air traffic.
That had Congress approval to pay for these things. It's not like he was cutting off future payments to these agencies. He was closing down whole agencies that had funding. They took the funding back.
Controllers, and he fired 250,000 government workers and food safety inspectors, and he cut the Department of Education and FEMA and pediatric cancer research and Meals on Wheels. And
well, now I talked about all of the cuts that Voight is making. What is his name? Oh, something Voight. Russell Voight is making since the government has been closed. And people that act, it's just amazing that people act like everything is the same. They are so unaware of what's in store for them. The plan is already in motion and solidified.
The NWS, the National Weather Service, and he fucking got away with it. Right? He got away with it. Yeah, there were some court cases and they might have said, hey, you got to stop or whatever. Sometimes they listen, sometimes they don't. Sometimes the cuts just stood, right? And so what Trump saw that, he looked at it and he said, if he can do that, I can do whatever the fuck I want, right? And that's what he's doing. And so now They look at Congress and they like laugh at Congress. And they're like, we'll just do whatever we want. Just now with the shutdown, they go, oh, we're going to pay the troops and we're going to just take money from the Pentagon and just use it to pay the troops. Okay, but that's not how that money's allocated. But they go, yeah, okay, we're going to do it. Like, this is what he does. He just finds a way. He just, shuffles some stuff around, does what he wants, and then goes, try to stop me. You can't. I'm the one with the actual power here. All right, so that's one of the things they're saying. Here's the other thing. Ready? Here is Sloppy Steve on News Nation. Listen to this.
So let me ask you about Trump 2028. We have a 22nd Amendment, which bars anybody from running for a third term. Do you think that that's not a barrier for him, or how do you see that?
I think that there are many different alternatives that at the appropriate time after the midterms in 26, we will roll out. But I think there are many different alternatives to make sure that President Trump is on the ballot.
In other words, that ain't going to fucking stop us. We'll come up with some bullshit legal theory, or we'll make some nonsense point, or we'll do some stupid fucking legal maneuver, and then we'll fucking shut up everybody who disagrees with us, and then we'll fucking do it. Now, by the way, I think he's actually being too kind, because he's saying, oh, he'll be on the ballot. Steve, I don't know if you've been following this stuff closely. We might not even have an election, dog. And I know you'd probably fucking cheerlead that. But this is where these people are. Guys, it always starts with, oh, we're just trolling, right? The Trump 2028 hats. Trump goes to negotiate with Democrats in the Oval Office. He's got a Trump 2028 hat staring right at Hakeem Jeffries, staring right at Chuck Schumer. They walked in, sat down, and engaged in the...
I must admit, I definitely agree. We may not even have a 2026 midterm election. If you guys weren't with me earlier when I started the show, there's a No King protest this Saturday. If you choose to protest by withholding your funds, there is a financial protest going on through, I think it's November 22nd through December 2nd. I know it ends on December 2nd. It starts sometime in November. They're asking you to financially protest by not making any purchases. I guess they're giving you enough time to be sure that you have what you need, so you can definitely zing this fourth quarters of earnings. So I'm just giving you the information. I guess more people will be able. Excuse me. I guess more people will be able to absorb the information once they fall on hard times and they don't know what to do. Make sure you get you some type of preparedness kit available for your personal protection and your personal survival. That's all I can tell you, because regardless of what people think, this shit is very real out here right now, right in this moment. So that is what I'm doing. Well, I always had my preparedness kit, but understand that there are going to be some things that you are not going to be able to purchase. There are going to be some things that they are going to take away from you to be able to protect yourself, if you understand what I'm saying, if you get what I'm getting down. So make sure you stockpile anything that you're going to need for your personal protection early, because you may not be able to. They may be prohibiting the purchase power that you are allowed to get, like they did during COVID. You are not allowed to buy over one box of certain things that could help you feel another certain thing that could protect your lives, if you understand what I'm saying. So make sure you know a lot of people have been doing this for years, but understand that we are in different times. So a lot of people may not understand it, but I'm just giving you the information. Be safe out there. Stock up on you some water and use some non-perishable items, and be safe out there. So there are some more links in my description box. Rest in peace, D'Angelo. If you guys missed the beginning of my video, I am going to have to delete. I I paid a tribute to D'Angelo in the beginning of my video, and I also played two things from the School of Rock. The No More Kings video from School of Rock, and the preamble to the Constitution, because a lot of us don't understand that, like Miss Douglas did say, while Black people were not considered in this No More Kings and the Constitution is, yes, rest in peace. What do you do when tyranny runs the land? Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, you gonna lay down and take it, or you gonna fight about it? A lot of people like, oh, it's not my fight. Oh, it's not big. Yeah, because you're a passive ass bitch. That's why it's not your fight, because you're a passive ass bitch. Yeah, we did what we were supposed to do. We voted for who was not going to have this nation fucked up like this nation is fucked up. So when it gets fucked up, who do you think gonna cry some tears for you while you sitting up there acting like, oh, you can't wait for the fight to come, and as if they ain't been fighting your ass all along? Like you think you are immune from what's coming. You're not immune from what's coming. And it's coming for you like it has always come for you. Who the fuck, who the hell do you think is going to do these crops? Why? Who the fuck do you think is going to be out here getting this food together for these hedge funds, rich hedge funds owners who are buying up these farms? Do you think that people ain't gonna have to eat no more? Who you think gonna be out there doing it? What do you? Who do you think they figure that they're gonna put out there to do it, to do that work? Y'all too short-sighted. Y'all are way too short-sighted. Lay down or get down. You ain't said nothing but a word. Y'all are way too short-sighted and silly. All right. I appreciate you guys for being here. The replay people, I appreciate you for being here. I hope you guys have a wonderful remainder of your day. Let me go through and take out these little clips that I did in the beginning. Rest in peace, D'Angelo. And have a smooth, easy day. Leonard, I appreciate your support. I am going to, at this point, them dressing up as aliens and trying to blap us wouldn't even surprise me. The desperation is pathetic. It wouldn't surprise me either. It wouldn't surprise me either. They are obviously trying to clear the way. They're trying to kill us. They are trying to kill people, in my opinion. It's my opinion that they want a certain number of people to free up space in the United States, because there is enough money for a certain small amount of people to need space and not have to pay people and all of this type of stuff. I think that these billionaires is so few of the billionaires that they figure that they have enough They have enough money where they can have all their own personal everything, and everybody else, they can get rid of their, we don't need all of this stuff. And you know what they used to do? Oh, I heard that they used to do something way back a long, long time ago. These people who had money, they were self-sufficient, and they didn't need anything. They had people to comb their hair, to run their bath, to rub their feet, to cook their food, to take care of their children, even to nurse their children, to build anything they wanted to build, to run to the store, to run uptown, to grow their food, to clean. They called them slaves. And, they were really self-sufficient, because you know what they could do when the slaves got old? They never got old, because they were like property, and they can have them to create more and more slaves. It was like a whole self-contained operation, where they didn't have to worry about the slaves who got old, because they were always breeding new ones. That was kind of convenient for the haves. If you don't know, you may be about to find out. So thank you guys for being here. I appreciate you spending some time with me. I'm not saying I'm right. I hope I'm wrong. And I hope I don't have to find out. But we all gonna fuck around and find out. If I got to find out some shit like this, everybody gonna fuck around and find out. Like they have the right to decide who lives and who died. Why do you think they're taking healthcare insurance away from people? That's the main reason why they're doing that, in my opinion, in my thought. Because who could think that a country that has no job or opportunity to offer the people then takes them off of healthcare insurance? All right, guys, have a great day. As Jill Comfort Zone always say, stay sucker free. All right, I'm out of here. Bye-bye.
It